Hi there guys, so as we know, Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev have until January 31st in order to make a deal for the IBF World title fight. If that does not happen, then it will go to the highest bidder. Now obviously Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn will want to make a deal because they want the fight to be in London. They would like it to be at Tottenham's stadium, that is their preference, but Kubrat Pulev wants to go wherever the most money is to be made, and that is why he is playing hardball. Now obviously, Kubrat Pulev is at the end of his career. He's 39 going on 40. This is going to be his last opportunity. His last opportunity to win a world title. His last opportunity to make any money. And obviously, it's against Anthony Joshua, where there is a lot of money to be made. Even though the split would likely be 70% Joshua and 30% Kubrat Pulev, he can still make a lot of money out of this fight. So naturally, he wants to go where the money is. Istanbul has been talked about in Turkey. Also, Saudi Arabia has been talked about as well. But Kubrat Pulev doesn't care where it is, he wants to make the most money. Even Eddie Hearn has confirmed that. Now, obviously, the problem is, if they are trying to make a deal to have the fight in London, Kubrat Pulev is going to play hardball because he wants to go where the money is, and the most money to be made is not in London. So Kubrat Pulev will play hardball, wait till the 31st, and then the highest bidder will get the fight. And that could be in Turkey, that could be in Saudi Arabia, it could possibly be in America, we don't know. The fight would just go to the highest bidder, that is what would happen. So naturally, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua will want to make a deal before the 31st of January, because obviously after that point, they have no options to make a deal with Kubrat Pulev. They have until that date to make a deal. If not, then as I said, the fight goes to the highest bidder, so they cannot control where the fight is at. And it won't be in London, it will not be in the UK if it goes to purse bids, because Eddie Hearn will lose money on the show trying to get it in London. And you can imagine that Anthony Joshua brings in the most money for Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. So they are not going to want to lose money on an Anthony Joshua show because they lost money on the Vasyl Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell card just to bring Lomachenko to the UK. He didn't mind that. But one thing's for sure, Eddie Hearn is not going to want to lose money on an Anthony Joshua show. That is why if it goes past the 31st of January, then it is highly likely that the fight will not be in the UK because the highest bidder will get the fight. And I don't imagine there is enough funds in the UK in order to stage that fight in London. Obviously, Tottenham Stadium is the one they want. They have also reached out to Twickenham. They have also reached out to the Emirates and the Olympic Stadium. Wembley is off the table. It's going to be in London if it's in the UK. Even Principality is off the table as well. If it is going to be in the UK, it will be either of those stadiums, a football ground or Twickenham. Anthony Joshua said he wants the fight to be at Tottenham because that is an amazing stadium. It would be great to make history in Tottenham's new stadium. And obviously Arsenal, the Emirates, and West Ham's current stadium, the Olympic Stadium, and Twickenham as well. So I would imagine all parties would be happy to have Anthony Joshua fight at their stadium. It just depends which one comes through. Tottenham Stadium looks like the front runner. But that is provided the fight is in the UK. We hope it's going to be in the UK. Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn want to do it in the UK. They want a homecoming for Anthony Joshua. They want him to bring all of his belts back to the UK after being on the road in 2019. It's time for Anthony Joshua to come back to the UK and defend his world titles once more against Kubrat Pulev. I think we can say it will be Kubrat Pulev because Alexander Usyk is going to fight Derek Chisora on possibly March 28, and that fight will prepare Alexander Usyk for the Anthony Joshua fight. He needs more fights at heavyweight. He's not going to go in there and beat Anthony Joshua currently. I don't believe that Alexander Usyk is experienced enough in the heavyweight division to beat Anthony Joshua. I think even if he were to come through Derek Chisora, it's still a very tall order for Usyk. I think Joshua will just be too strong and too powerful for Usyk. But that Derek Chisora fight will be an acid test for him, and it can only benefit him if he does take that fight before the Anthony Joshua fight, because the Chaz Weatherspoon fight, that performance wasn't that great, and I don't believe that prepared him in any way for someone like Anthony Joshua. He's used to fighting smaller fighters, cruiserweights who are a lot quicker and less powerful. Chaz Weatherspoon didn't represent a tough heavyweight challenge for Alexander Usyk. So that is why I believe Usyk will step aside, fight Chisora, then wait for his mandatory against Anthony Joshua, and Kubrat Pulev will fight instead. I think we can all but confirm it's going to be Kubrat Pulev next. Whether it's in London, whether it's in Turkey, whether it's in Saudi Arabia, that is the fight I believe will happen next. But one thing we do know is that Kubrat Pulev is playing hardball because he wants the most money. It's his last opportunity, his last crack at a big payday and a world title shot as well, to fight on the biggest stage in world boxing against Anthony Joshua, possibly the best heavyweight in the division. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Kubrat Pulev seems to be playing hardball with Anthony Joshua and his team about the situation where the fight will take place, and it seems he wants more and more money. He wants to maximize his income. He doesn't care where the fight is, but Anthony Joshua does. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Drop them in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.